It's towards the tail end of March, and I'm out here at the Lyndon B. Johnson Grasslands National Park area, and I'm walking the Yellow Trail. Wait, hold up. About a year and a half to 2 years ago, I bought this kind of basic backpacking backpack from a company called Outlife off of Amazon. It cost me about $45 back then. It's a little bit more expensive now, but I did some modifications on it. In fact, I did some pretty extensive modifications. The bag originally weighed about 2.2 pounds, which is not that heavy actually for a 60-liter backpack. But I cut it down to about 1.6 pounds, or about 25 and a half ounces on its own. And I just want to show you some of those modifications. And then kind of show you that I took it on a little test hike as well. Anyway, the first thing I did was I removed these sort of useless straps and buckles that were on the top of the brain. I did not need them, so I took them off. The next thing I did was remove the label. I do not like labels on my stuff. There are two labels, one on the bottom and one on the top. The top one had the Outlife logo, and I took a seam ripper and meticulously, over an hour and a half of my life, removed all those threads. You can see the imprint still there. I also replaced the zipper pulls. The bag came with these very bright yellow zipper pulls, kind of fluorescent yellow, and I had some other ones laying around, much lighter, some orange ones and some black ones, and I replaced all the zipper pulls where needed around the bag. So if it was a zipper that I needed to access pretty quickly, or like in the dark, I put an orange one on there. And if it was a zipper that I didn't access all that often, I put the black ones on. And I like the look of them better too. Now, the front of this bag had a big pocket. It was not a stretchy pocket, just a big pocket, and it had the Outlife logo all over it, and this crazy design with yellow lines. And I cut it off. Here's a recreation of me cutting it off. I literally just took some scissors and cut it off, and it left the front of the backpack. And then I discovered there was a hidden zipper pocket actually in the front of the backpack I didn't even know was there. So I can still put stuff in the front if I want to, even without that little pouch. So, you know, bonus. It also had like a little buckle at the top of that pouch that buckled up to a strap underneath where the brain comes down. I took that strap and buckle off as well. I left a loop there though. And the last thing I really did is take off these cross straps that were in the front. They were just kind of heavy and unsightly, and I didn't know how I was going to use them. So I took them off, and what I did instead is put this kind of X pattern of shock cord, so I can still secure something to the front if I want to, like a sit pad or a drying tarp or a rain jacket or something. Anyway, I took them out to the LBJ Grasslands, the backpack, to test it out. Pretty nice out here, except for a couple of people on horses, but some dogs with them. Everything's pretty much to myself. I have pretty much everything to myself. So anyway, I better pay attention to where I'm going. I think the trails are converging up here. Anyway, nice day for a hike. So I loaded up the bag with about 13 and a half pounds, including food and water, just like I would take on a camping trip. And I walked the Yellow Trail here at the LBJ National Grasslands. This trail is for horse riding as well as hiking, and it's pretty sandy, but it's really a nice trail. It's the tail end of March right now, so it was really a beautiful day outside, and I walked for a couple of hours, just a little day hike, and just tried to feel how the backpack wore on my back. In fact, it wore really nicely. I didn't even really need the hip belt hardly at all. With 13 and a half pounds, it was just fine. The trails here are relatively well marked. I got turned around a couple of times. And then at one point, right before I got back to the car, I had to do a little creek crossing, and in the dark, I slipped and got my leg coated in mud. So it was a nice adventure. It was a hike with worth noting. Anyway, I realized that I didn't have a place to put my phone when I got back. So the other modification I did when I got back home was that I put a little bitty kind of a pouch from the company Ohm on the front of it, so that I have a place to put my phone there on the shoulder straps. Anyway, that concludes the modifications that I made to this Outlife backpack. Thank you for watching. Hey, I highly recommend, if you have your own equipment, that you should modify it and customize it as needed. You know, have it do what it needs to do for what you want to do with the equipment. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.